Hi guys, Rochelle here from my vintage farm. Lovely sounds of our highway. I'm in the greenhouse, guys. I haven't been out here in a few days because I was feeling a little under the weather, and I came in and it was just like the best gift for a farmer. Everything is sprouting and it looks so beautiful. Hey Pearl, quit trying to dig stuff up. Nope, go on out. Go on out, girl. Go on out. She's so funny. She's been digging up everything, chasing rabbits. I'm sure there's probably, hey, stop it. There's probably something, little critter that smells right there. And she's like, but Mom, I'm supposed to get them. Okay, guys, so I'm going to turn this around and show you guys all the things that have happened here in the past couple days. I am so stoked. Like, here's a little cauliflower plant. I'm just going to eat it. This is so good. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so here's my workstation. This is where I usually sit, guys, and look at this glorious view. We've got clusters of beets coming in here, the little daffodilians. They look so cute. You guys can see I'm just trying to like push through. See one right there? They're just so beautiful. I'm hoping I feel good enough to plant my bulbs tomorrow. These are all the mammoth sunflowers. You guys, look at how cute that is. I just love it. I gotta dust them off a little bit. Hi, Ruben. Welcome to the live. Look at how beautiful these leaves are, you guys. These are gonna get like so tall. Like some of them get 12, 14 foot tall. It just depends on the environment they're in. So those are awesome. These are the herb packs I put in. Not really sure which one's growing, but one of them is. And I probably should have at least marked one pack with which cell everything was, but we'll know once they start growing. Here's the broccoli. I always like to just give a good rub on my sprouts because it just makes them stronger. These guys here are kind of getting a little leggy on the backside, so I'll probably take them off of this shelf and move them to a better shelf. So there's that. And then we have onions. So many onions, guys. Those are sprouting up. These are the Red Baron. Another tray of Red Baron here. And then this is like Tokyo Long White Bunching. It's got the Elisa Craig onion, the Craig White Way onion, Red Beard Bunching onion, and then the Red Burgundy onion. So I'm pretty sure I didn't plant this half of the tray because nothing's growing. Everything's growing on that side. And then none of our tomatoes have sprouted down here. I might move these guys up to, these are the ones that we planted in the last videos. It was like the second to the last one on here. So these guys haven't sprouted, but I do have a tomato somewhere sprouted. I don't know where I found it, but I will find it. These are all tomatoes down here too. I'm going to move these up to the higher shelf either tomorrow or Monday. Our artichokes are coming in so good. Like, look at that beautiful artichoke. And these will be on the farm for years to come. Like, once you plant them, you just keep like cutting them back and taking care of them. This is all celery, you guys. Look at how beautiful. It looks like a little carpet. I love that. Okay, so you can see that right here we had some like washout, and that's okay. That happens. Hi, Candace. So I do the blanket effect. You guys can see here, these are my 512 trays, and I put a layer of soil over. And what that does is it makes it to where all of the water just like sucks and like wicks over the seeds to make sure that you get a really good germination. You can see the hose came out of my water thing there and like made a naked spot. But sometimes you will get this when you're watering, you'll get a little suck through on it and you'll lose a couple cells, but that's okay. There's 512 cells there. I can totally lose some. Here we have some more artichokes. Those are the purple Ramanja ones. Super stoked that we had such a good germination rate on these. And then the cauliflower is all doing really well. So that's awesome. These are going to get thinned out and then transplanted. So you can see like this one here definitely has some thinning to do. No big deal. This one here only has like 2, maybe 3. I probably ate that one. And then this celery is kind of disappointing me. Look, I've got one. Can you guys see that? Let's see. It's right right in front of my finger, right there. I've only got one sprout, and I'm sure there's probably more, and I just can't see them because they're, oh no, here's another one too. Okay, so they're starting to come up. They're just so puny, you can't see them. And then we're gonna pop on over here, and this is where I have my first little tomato sprouting. Look at, guys, this is the dark galaxies that we planted the other day. Do you see it? Do you see that beautiful specimen there? Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just loving it. So we've got one little tomato sprouting so far. I can't really see any other sprouting just yet, but I know that one has sprouted. And then nothing going on here. This was the asparagus, the yellow pear tomatoes, and then that Vera lavender. So that is, oh my gosh, right? I cannot wait to have more sprouts. Like, it was seriously like Christmas when I walked up in here. It's like, oh my gosh, Lord, thank you. So I'm gonna plant zinnias and cosmos today because I want to get, this is just like I think it's a 128 cell tray. I'm not sure, I don't usually use those ones, but I plan on transplanting them to sell at our stand. So I figured I would do them with a little deeper cell on them to give me a head start and to save some space, because if I use my regular, like these right here are my market cups, but if I use those, I won't be able to germinate as many. So yeah. Hi Jen. Hey Melissa. Welcome to the greenhouse. So man, this is awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at the can you see those itty bitty little green babies right there? That has got to be like parsley or something, or oregano. And then look right there too. Okay, so the herbs are doing great. Thank you. Oh my gosh, they are. Okay, so sometimes you just got to get a little closer. Oh my gosh. Okay, so those are going to be super awesome, because what I did was I did these little tiny 6-packs. Let me grab one. I did these little itty bitty 6-packs of mixed herbs, so that way people could just like buy a 6-pack and then go home with a ton of herbs that they can pot into individual pots or into like a tower or something, and have a ton of like culinary herbs for their stuff. So it's a beautiful day, guys. Yeah, do you guys have any questions? Any questions? Ugh. Oh my gosh, that was like a rough landing. Oh, okay, let's get you guys set up for a second. So I just brought out 2 of my big giant packs of seeds, because they're not really giant, but I think they're like 4 ounces of zinnias and of cosmos. Now this week I was like fighting a little bit of a fever and just like a cold, like this like chest cold. So I definitely was like not playing around in the greenhouse. So I'm so happy to be back out here. There's like rocks in there from last year. So if you guys haven't seen cosmos seeds, they are so pretty. They almost look like caraway seeds. And they're I always find them kind of hard to plant because you have to use a bigger cell. You can't really use the smaller cells, or else they'll do that. But on these trays, what I do, because I like to sow them kind of thick anyways, is I just sprinkle them, like literally just sprinkle them on it, and then I'll do the same thing with that blanket effect on the top. Are you guys planting anything? Anything growing in your garden? Has anybody done their bulbs? That's what I really want to know, because I am behind on bulbs right now. I thought I was going to get them done and I didn't. So I'm really hoping that I can redeem myself in the bulb world. This is my first year doing them, so we'll see. The dog has been trying to hunt this rabbit that went underneath the dumpster, and it's driving her crazy. So yeah, guys, I don't know. Oh my gosh, so I got that curl cream in today, and I will tell you, I actually feel pretty happy about my curls. Planted garlic in November, but that's it. So girl, I have all my garlic to plant, and I'm not even gonna lie, I still planted this late. I might not get as big of bulbs, but I usually plant mine in January and have no issue with it. So I'm hoping, like, it's only February, right? I don't know, but I don't have the best planting schedule because usually this time of year I'm not well, and I haven't been able to really like get this whole 4-season gardening thing down yet, but I feel like a little bit more time in the next year and so to come, and I'll have a better schedule. Last night I cataloged and did inventory for all my seeds, like just under 3,000 packs of seeds that I had to inventory, and I literally inventoried each individual variety and everything. The one thing I wish I would have done that I didn't do was put the seed company of who I ordered it from on it, because sometimes we all know, like if you guys are buying seeds, you know there's like some companies that specialize with different varieties of seeds. But I made, you know, categories of just like tomatoes, herbs, but like basil literally got its own category because I have so many different varieties of basil. So I probably had, I don't know, I'll have to count when I go inside, but close to like 20 or more basil varieties, which I didn't realize I had that many, but I have a thing for basil. So some of them I do want to use in my cut bouquets this year, and they're going to be more of like a greenery than just like for your food. But yeah. And then I think the other thing that really surprised me was the tomatoes. I probably had like over 200 or more varieties of tomatoes, and now that I have them all organized and written out, I'm ordering more, because now I know what I don't have, so I can look at my list and then I can say I don't have this, and then I can justify purchasing it. So, oh man, I don't know. Sometimes having a good garden space, like a really large space that's already prepared, could be like, it could be bad if you are addicted to the different varieties of foods that there are. So I think we're gonna really have a large assortment of rare tomatoes here at our farm stand. And the only thing I had like one rutabaga and one parsnip. Those are the only things I barely had anything of. So I don't know if you guys have like a favorite rutabaga or parsnip or anything. Let me know. Those are two things I don't eat, and it was evident because I didn't have any seeds for them. And now I kind of want to get some because I feel like there's got to be a market out there. I mean, people are eating it, right? I just haven't necessarily used it. And like back in the day, I would put parsnips like in my soup broth, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. It's been really low key around here. As soon as this greenhouse gets filled up, we're gonna go ahead and take all the windows and start framing out the second greenhouse. Alyssa is turning 18 in like 10 days. That's crazy. So I'm hoping that I start feeling better because I really want to help her get all moved in. She's like, Mom, I'm ready to move in. I'm like, you still have like 2 weeks left. I'm like, you're not moving out any sooner. She's like not going far. It's just how, you know, when you're a mom. So, and then what else? Josh has been working crazy hours right now. It's just been one of those times where you just kind of do the things that you don't really feel like are making progress, but organizing the seeds, like after doing it, I definitely recommend people do it, like starting your own file, like your own spreadsheet for your seed counts. And then that way, as you buy new things, you can add to it. I think the only thing I'll change when I do it is I will separate out each different section to its own page, because I feel like, especially because we're going to be having a nursery here and putting in hoop houses and stuff like that, I feel like it's really important that we carry a very wide variety, because even though we're in California and you would think like you can get a lot of heirloom stuff around here, but there's not a lot of heirloom plant starts and things like that. And then I've been kind of like reading about these different nurseries and stuff in other states and seeing like how they got started. And honestly, the best way to get started at your nursery, even with perennials, is to try to start from seed, unless you can get cuttings, which I am going to try to do some cuttings and stuff like that. But we have really bare land, so there's not much that we can take cuttings on from here. So it's going to take like having to connect with different friends and stuff and see what they have, and then, you know, do some trading, like put some, if you guys have ever seen them root balls, my friend Jen, she ordered them and has been using them, and I was just using tinfoil. So I feel like those are like more substantial. They kind of just are like this, but you put the plant between it and the ball just closes on it. You put it with soil in both sides and pack it, and you just like shave off the bark of the tree, whatever tree, and you want it to be like a woody piece. And then you put this ball and clip it on, and in like within 2 weeks time, it makes a root ball, and then you can transplant that and you literally have a little tree. It's the fastest way to like do it, but I have to make friends with people who have trees. And I don't know, like right now is probably not the best time because most of the trees around here, yes, aren't they awesome? But most of the trees around here will be going into bloom for their fruit season. So I feel like this would be a really good thing to do after harvest, like after you harvest your trees, especially if you're doing like fruits and nuts and things like that. I'm gonna post a picture, you guys. Maybe I'll put it in my story, and then I'll put the link to the Amazon ones that I found, because it's super cool. And you feel like, okay, so if I want to do an orchard here, I need hundreds of trees. It's not like, I mean, I've got a lot of space to fill. I would probably, to do a substantial orchard, I would need close to 1,000 trees, and that wouldn't even take up a good part of my property. And so you figure if you could do maybe 20 on each tree, and I mean, yes, you would have to invest in the little black balls, and that's kind of expensive. Maybe you wouldn't do them all at once, but if you wait till someone harvested their crops for the year and then you put them on there, and then you wait kind of, I would say like not right after harvest, but I would wait till right before fall, like when it comes to the time when they're going to prune back their trees. So plant it like a month before then, and then do that. That way, before they prune their trees, you can get cuttings. Like, my gosh, because most fruit trees are grafts, you guys. They're not like an apple tree. An apple tree, if you grow an apple seed, it's not going to be the same type of apple that you got at the store, because apple trees have been hybrid so much. That's gonna be like a grafted situation. But if you take a cutting from that tree, you're gonna get a clone of that exact tree, and it's gonna produce that same fruit. So don't mind me getting all excited over here, but this is what happens when I talk plants. So I've got these ones watered in pretty good. I'm gonna grab another tray real quick. But yeah, guys, that's what's going on. This is like, I'm finally feeling a little bit better, and I'm like ready to just take on the farm. And just keep encouraging people, because like it's so early in the season. Our frost date for our zone here in 9B is done, guys. Like, you guys can start planting in your gardens, especially your brassicas, cabbage, broccoli, any of your lettuces, celeries, Swiss chards, any of those things, mustard greens. You can get those planted right now. You'll still get a nice good harvest. Beets, carrots, any of like the root vegetables, parsnips, all of that you can start growing. And so I want to encourage as many people as possible to like get in on this gardening, this early season gardening like I'm doing right now. Be right back. Let me pop this bad boy up here in a tray. I already pre-filled them with water because, oh, there we go. Because I filled my big blue tank already, and my little 55 gallon or whatever that is, that barrel. And so I filled up a couple trays because I said, okay, you got your butt out here. Oh my gosh, I know, but you know what? It's okay, because get it ready, because there's a few things I'm not ready for, and I'm okay with that. But I will say, like, it's going to take some time, and you're pretty new on your property too. So I feel like it's almost like getting a rhythm, you know, like just like how, you know, everything's going to happen. Like, oh, we prepare for Christmas and we do our Christmas shopping. It's the same thing with farming, but like our preparation is different. We have to prepare the land, you know, make sure it's either tilled or covered or whatever it is, whatever type of, you know, system you're doing for your growing medium. And then organizing your garden plan, like what are you going to plant? And especially like here, because we are doing a market garden, we are doing, you know, production farming. It's a little bit different than just growing an at-home garden, because we want to be able to have things that aren't necessarily available at another farm stand, because we live in a very like high populated agriculture community. And so in order for us to stand out at all, we have to offer different varieties. So if someone can come here and get a Galaxy tomato, they may not be able to pick that up somewhere else. So we've got a lot of like orange, yellow, black, purple. I mean, like you name it, we're focusing a lot on the different colored tomatoes this year. And I feel like it's gonna be a great thing. And I'm trying to look right now. Thank you. I love that. See, that helps me, because I'm like, I know if I would buy it, I hope that other people would buy it, but then see what, like, Candace, when I hear that you would buy it, I know that I'm not crazy for doing it, because sometimes I'm like, okay, do you really need to start like 1 million plants? Maybe not, but as close as I can, right? we just plant until we can't plant no more. So yeah, so these 512 trays, if you guys haven't used them, I know I gave some to Melissa. I don't know if you still have yours from last year, but they will last forever. But like literally 512 cells on here. So that's 512 individual plants. Oh my gosh. So in the summertime, the coolest thing too is like you just have like a steak or chicken or something, and then pretty much everything else comes from the garden. And that's what I love the most, is like I don't have to eat breakfast or lunch or anything. I just start grabbing everything from the garden. And so I don't know, I just feel like, I was telling my mom today, I just have, because I haven't been feeling well, I've been in my bedroom, but I have my curtains open and the sun has just been like shining in, and I've just been like standing by my window and just soaking in the sunshine. And normally I wouldn't just like chill in my bedroom if I was sick, but I have had a fever and I just don't want to like have Alyssa get sick. She's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a cold for your birthday. So I was just like, man, I'm standing in my window today and I was like, oh Lord, I just feel it. Like this is when the blanket of warmth goes onto the land and it germinates the seeds, because we already had the rain, so it's nice and moist and everything is growing. And I look out and there's like a light carpet growing in our pastures right now just from the previous rain. So I came out here and it was like, it was such a beautiful thing. So then I just made sure everybody had water, because every time, if you guys don't know, like anytime the weather changes and it starts to get different, your animals will take in more water. And so just know to watch for that, because they'll start sucking it down. And I don't know, I don't think it's like they get hot or anything. I think it's just like their body just starts craving more hydration. Hi, Gabe. And so now we're gonna plant zinnias. You guys, I get these from Osborne Seeds. So if you're trying to do like a cut flower garden, which I highly recommend doing, especially right now being stuck at home, it's so nice to just be able to go outside and cut flowers from your backyard and put them in a jar or a vase or something. So this is just a sensation mix of zinnias, and it's the California Giants. So these are the ones that are gonna have super long stems on them. And they're so gorgeous. Depending on what environment that you plant them in, depends on like how tall they grow. Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm out in the greenhouse just loving life. Look at this little growth going on. It's like some beautiful, it kind of is, you guys, like if you guys grow a garden, you know the excitement you get when you start to see the sprouts. When things start growing, it's just like, it's real. Like the season is upon you and there's no going back. Like it's like the race has started, and every day you are now losing, like we're still gaining more sunlight, you know, till we get to the longest day of the year, and then we'll start reversing. But I look at it as like right now, this is go time. We just passed our last frost, and we are at the point where every day we're losing a day of growing season. And so right now, with most of the crops that are grown, if I start planting within this next week or two, I can literally grow 3 different rotations of plants before fall. Like, and that's not even counting fall and winter gardening. So if that gives you guys any bit of excitement or encouragement to get out there and start planting, like, you can start planting now. One of the things that I struggled with from not getting my garden started early enough was I would lose plants, especially last year, because I used the black plastic and I had never used it before. So that was like, it was like a blessing because it really did help with the weeds. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I did love it for that. But at the same time, it cooked a lot of my starter plants. And you know, I had no idea that it was gonna act like an oven and just bake them, but it did. And so now I'm like, I almost thought I wasn't gonna use it, and I'm gonna use it though, because here I am, I'm starting this season early, and I have decided that I'm gonna go ahead and lay down my drip tape and then put down my plastic, what they call plastic mulch. It's a big long roll of mulch. And Melissa remembers it. Melissa will never forget that mulch. I don't think anybody who was here last year will forget that mulch. And so I'm gonna like put it down, but I'm actually gonna put wood chips over it, because here's the thing, the wood chips aren't gonna leach down into my soil, but they're gonna act as an insulator. So instead of having the direct light on there, it's gonna act as an insulator, and it should help me with any type of like summer rotation burn that I might be getting. Yes, oh my gosh, like I'm telling you guys, there is nothing like farm thighs. Like, you get some good farm thighs from all the squats from planting season. There is just something that changes in your body because you're using like range of motions that you normally wouldn't use. I'm way over planting this. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This is how excited I am. I'm just like, normally I would just plant like direct sow these zinnias, but I really want to try to have some that I can pot up. And I'm trying to plant things right now that I know are gonna grow quick so I can start filling my stand shelves, because I really want to have items out there that can start growing quickly and then bringing in an income. I ordered grow lights today. I didn't tell my husband. I have been waiting for weeks to see if we had the budget to do it. And let's face it, sometimes you just don't have the budget, but it's a necessity if you're going to have a flower farm. So I ordered grow lights today. So yeah, that happened. Babe, if you are watching, I love you. I will give you a back massage. So sometimes he finds out stuff here on my lives before he finds out, but I'm sure Amazon already sent him a notification that we have a shipment coming. So here is the tray. You guys can see how heavy I seated that. Now, definitely not necessary to seat it that much, but you know what? It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna do the blanket effect over the top of it. So anything that is, anything that's over-seated, the roots will make its way down to one cell. So even if I planted them like on the side of one, they'll make their way down to one cell. So when I pull them out, I'm not gonna disturb anything. It's gonna grow just fine. So I just like encourage you guys, when you're planting, if you decide that it's easier, like right now for me, it's gonna be way easier to overplant this and then come back through. And then when I'm pulling these out and transplanting, if I feel like I have too many, which these are zinnias, they're not gonna normally like crowd each other. They do okay if you plant them somewhat thick. And when you're putting something at your stand, or if you're putting it up for sale, you want to have something that's full. You want it to be lush and full, and like, you want people to see that they're getting a lot for their money. You know, when you go to the store and you get a 6-pack and it just has like one plant in each, how many people get the one with the double plants? Me. I'm like, if there's 2 plants growing in one, I'm gonna be like, I'm not even lying. Sometimes I'll just like pick one out of another one and be like, okay, now my whole pack is all doubles. Lord forgive me. But that's real life. So I feel like I don't want people having to do that. I'm just gonna load their plants up for them, so that way when they get home and they want to separate their stuff and plant up whatever, they're gonna have a nice, well planted like plug or like cup, you know, one of these cups. And then I've got the 4x4s too. So depending on how fast they grow, I'll just like pot it up. So this is a great time to be ordering your compost. If you don't have compost, I suggest finding some. Sometimes getting deliveries if you don't have a truck, or if you like us, like we get trailer loads of it delivered. You want to get on the list for that, because you don't want to be ready to plant and then not have your compost ready as well. So get your compost ordered. I've been seeing a lot of things in the gardening groups of like different Home Depots and Lowe's marking down the Natural Care potting soil to like 90 cents and like $1.10 a bag for like, I want to say it was like 32, I don't know, something. Like that's the size of it. I don't know what it is because I usually buy by the cubic yard. But yeah, guys, this is the time. You just make all your preparations. If you're going to do a garden bed and you have weeds there, maybe you're not feeling well, guys. This is like a cheat, okay? Like if you're not feeling good, like every year when I had a smaller garden and before I was like farming on a larger scale, cover it up. So whatever you have to cover it with, even if it's like an old blanket or a tarp, or you can have mulch. There's like so many things, but when you cover that, like anything that's exposed is gonna grow something. And if you're not planting something, you're gonna grow a weed or a grass or something that's more invasive that your plants are not gonna be doing well with. So cover it up. Don't leave a naked garden, okay, guys? Because naked gardens grow things just like other stuff grows, okay? So that is like my secret tip to like gardening if you feel like you have a broken body. Make it easier on yourself. And then if you do put a tarp down, oh, it's Buckingham. If you put a tarp down, you can leave that tarp down and like poke holes in the tarp. That can literally be your weed barrier. You can poke holes in the tarp and you can plant right through that tarp. Now, will it be pretty to have a blue tarp in your garden? Probably not. Try to find a brown one or a black one, you know, something that kind of hits that mood of the garden. But I'll show you guys before I cover it right now. So here we go. So this is all like, this is super, super like over planted. Definitely gonna have a good germination rate on this one here. And these guys are gonna be thirsty too. So now I'll show you guys how I do this. Where's my camera? Sorry, I'm like all over you guys. Okay, so now you just like sprinkle it on. This is what I call the blanket, you guys. And the reason I do this is because it'll wick the water across the top. And I have the highest germination rate when I do this. These cells are kind of small because they're the 512 cells. So when you're planting them, you want to give every opportunity to each individual seed to be sown and to grow and to germinate and to thrive. So as you're doing it, you see I just kind of use my hand as a little ledge, and then you're sprinkling it on. You want to be like gentle with it because you don't want to displace the seeds that you just like put there so gently. So continue to just go like this, and then when the water starts wicking up, it'll literally cover this whole entire top of these seeds. And then the sun's gonna come out tomorrow and these are gonna start growing. They germinate fairly quick because they are a quicker growing flower. So these are the zinnias. These are the giant California mix. The Sensation is the color of it. These came from Osborne Seeds out of Washington. And so, yeah. I have some great news too. I've been talking with a friend of mine who runs a dairy. Oh my gosh, wait till I get on camera so I can tell you guys and just like show you my face of excitement. Just get these last little ones. You got to get all the bits and pieces. And it's okay if you tap it down. Don't worry, like you're not going to hurt them. Zinnias are like a very strong seed. So you don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, am I covering it too much? Is it going to come through? And then that's it. It's like, I feel like I'm a chef right now, just in my kitchen. Okay. Oops, I took you guys off the tripod. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, so, and then this is the sprayer, guys. This is like 10 bucks. It'll be your best friend for starting seeds because it's gentle and it's so easy to use. And again, if you have problems with like holding weight and things like that, like you don't have to worry about it. I'll show you. It just sprays it so gently. No seeds displaced. Everything goes so good. So here's the great news. My friend, she runs a dairy, and I said, hey, how cool would it be if once, like after Alyssa's birthday, we get together and we've been trying to like do some bowl planting together and we haven't been able to. And oh my gosh, okay, so this one right here is just called the half-gallon sprayer. I'll put a link to this too, because this one I got at Walmart or Home Depot. But these are like a must, and don't get yourself a fancy one. Get yourself the $10 one, because I'll tell you right now, like you might go through it. So don't like invest in the $30 ones. Just get yourself one. And these plastic parts, like these will bust over like a year or two. They just get worn out from being used in the weather and expansion and contraction. So, but I just call it like a handheld pump sprayer, and it's a half-gallon. So that's like the trick to getting it like this, is you need the half-gallon size. And then I have bigger ones that have a wand, so I can get them as they're older. So I'm going to go out there, and she's going to do, like, we're going to do a couple videos. One showing the entire milking collar and the milking process and everything like that. Another video touring the entire farm and beautiful location. And then another one of the barns. And she has a greenhouse out there now too. So I'm not sure like how well the greenhouse will be growing. It had a little clog, but I'm excited to show you guys that. Like, we were able, so my brother-in-law, his family, they own Gates Ranch, and if you guys go back on my YouTube channel from last summer for my nephew's birthday, we also did a tour of their butcher shop. They raise meat and they butcher meat there, and beautiful operation. Well, his uncle Joe Gates passed away yesterday morning. Very, very sad and tragic. And so I really feel like it's important to take these time to do these trips and to get the history that we can get in of the different areas where our food comes from. I'm so blessed that I was able to take that tour and spend that time there and with their family, learning everything. And Jacob and Joe are there right now, working in the butcher shop. They don't want any slack. Pick up from their uncle would just be working right now. So thank you. Yeah, so just keep the Gates and the Diaz family in your prayers, please. But yeah, it's important to show things like this, guys, and to show the history of these farms that these different families and areas have done and what we have in our communities. So this is going to be a goat dairy, and it's baby goat season right now, and baby goats just bring so much joy. Any baby animal does, but I'm just saying there's something special about a baby goat. So I plan on doing some farm visits to different farms and things like that where I can locally, some orchards, and giving people on my channel that other view from like the, not really commercial, but I would say like the production side of farming and gardening, because you can achieve it, and you should know where your food comes from. This one's all planted up. You know, it's hecka funny. I didn't put a darn name tag in that last one. But yeah, guys, so it's been one heck of a week around here, and I'm just so excited to be back out here and just really enjoying all that God has blessed us with, and not taking for granted the opportunities that we have. So I hope this encourages you guys to get in your garden. I hope it encourages you. Just throw some seeds out your window. Maybe you're not ready to get outside yet. That's okay. Just like get out. You're in. Throw some seeds outside. They will grow. Like, I promise you, they will grow. You can even go to the you can go to the dollar store and they have these like boxes of mixed flowers and things like that, and you can get those and you can just put them outside and grow a beautiful garden, and all you have to do is water it. Hey Christina, hey girl, hey. So you know, take some time to just grow something beautiful. If you're not ready to grow food, which it can be a task, you guys, and sometimes if you lose a crop of food, it can be disheartening and hard for you to continue to want to grow. But if you're growing flowers, the good thing is they're fairly like weeds. I mean, they grow really well. I mean, if you really want to like grow something that you don't have to worry about, grow some morning glories, like you'll feel real good about yourself. You'll feel like the best gardener ever. You grow some morning glories, and those bad boys, man, you put those in the ground and they just grow like crazy, and they'll take over and they'll come back for years and years to come. I'm gonna put this one up, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had a call come in. I'm trying to figure out what else did I plant, you guys, because I filled 3 trays. Only 2 of them have. What did I plant? You guys are with me. Did I plant 2 trays of zinnias? What did I do? Look at this. I had, this is a new one, and this is a new one. Oh no, there it is. Haha. Look at that. See, I knew I filled up another one with water, ready to plant it. That's my life, guys. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you the sunset. Hurry up before it goes down. Don't mind my messiness out there. I'll just like tilt you guys up so you don't have to see all my messy greenhouse front. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. So stinking pretty. We have the best sunsets here. I mean, I'm sure everybody says that, but I really feel like we do. So I was cleaning up the front of the greenhouse the other day, and it's like one of those situations where it gets worse before it gets better. That's what happened. So hopefully now that I'm like back in action, tomorrow I can spend time getting these bulbs in the ground, and then I want to get the bulbs in the ground and then get this greenhouse area cleaned up, because the window that broke. Yes. So, Candace, are you always from California, or did you move here from somewhere else? Because I can't remember. Candace is a new friend, guys. So, Letty, if you're watching this, I love you, and I just got your message, and I will call you back as soon as I'm off the live. Born and raised. Okay, awesome. So, what area of California? So, I feel like because we have mountains, it literally is some of the best, because it'll like fall down to the ocean, or it like dips behind a mountain. And when I was commuting back in the day, I used to commute to like Vacaville area, and the sun sets a little bit later in Vacaville than it does over here. And so I would remember like driving that way, trying to enjoy as much of the sunset as I could. I know, so it's hecka funny, because I kept saying like up there to you, like you were up north, and then I realized like, no, she's down south. But yeah, so I would like try to chase the darn sun and watch the sunset the whole way, because you do get a little bit like, as you're driving, you can like kind of hold on to those minutes of sunset. So how's your house project going, Candace? Candace bought a fixer-upper, like her own homestead, and her husband have been like putting everything into building it, and I think that's amazing. It's like there's nothing more that you can appreciate than something that you've done with hard work. I feel like there's a level of appreciation that just, you're sometimes screaming at yourself thinking, are you crazy? And then like when it works out, you're like, oh man, I'm so glad we did this. Like, man, I knew that was gonna work the whole time, right? But yeah, so I'm gonna throw one more batch of zinnias down, because I did fill that last thing with water. Ooh, what do I have here? Hold on, I got some seeds right here, y'all. Ooh, sage. We're gonna grow sage. You guys like how my garden plan goes? It's just like, oh, we're gonna grow. No, we're not. That's just real life around here, okay? Oh, nice. How many kids do you have? I know, you know, it's hard. Like I always tell people, if I'm outside my house suffers. Like I don't have the wherewithal to like really sustain indoor and outdoor work just yet. I don't have that capacity. I'm really working on it, but I have found the value in like setting aside a day. Oh, congratulations. How fun. 2 under 4. So what I do is Friday and Saturdays are usually what I call my deep clean days. So I catch up on every bit of housework from the entire week. And it really does help because that allows me to spend the other 5 days outside. And I still go outside on those days too, but on those days I'm only allowed to plant 1 flat because I will stay out here, especially if the weather's good. Oh my gosh, all day long. You can't get me out of this greenhouse. And then in the summertime, so it's hecka funny because I spend so much time in here that in the summertime I get to the point to where I'm like, you know what, if I just go out there right now, and the earlier you're out here, the less that you notice how hot it is. So last year I was in the greenhouse and it was like 120 degrees. I don't recommend that at all. It's not safe, but I didn't realize it was that hot because I had like conditioned myself to that weather. So I had been out there and I was out here like 8 o'clock in the morning and it was cool. And the greenhouse will get to like 120 with the doors and everything shut if I don't have fans on by noon in the summertime. Like it gets jumping. So, and I leave my shade cloth up year round. It works as a roof protector in our windstorms. And it also works as a little bit of a temperature controller in the summertime. So if I want to put some stuff in here, I can. Oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. I love like some plants I haven't grown in a while. And these sage seeds are so big. I'm going to show you guys. Look at how big they are. Like sometimes when I'm planting, I want to cheat. And I don't want to plant little seeds. I really hate little seeds. So like what I do is I just figure whatever comes in, whatever goes out. And I mean, at this point, right, let's just like really test our luck. We're just going to shake it around. Like, I don't know. And I never really have a terrible germination rate, but sage is awesome because it'll just keep growing back year and year, and it's a perennial. And I'm trying to grow our perennial gardens here because that is where it's at. Like, not only, okay, so if you have a farm stand or if you have a vision of having a CSA, which is a community supported agriculture program, and you have CSA members, so they're buying into what you're going to be selling them all year long. And so, you know, depending on, like, ours usually goes for $35 a week and they get this huge, you know, delivery of stuff. And so we have our own bags made, and my cousin, he makes bags. So if you guys are looking for any swag for your businesses, let me know. I will connect you with him because they do a great job. They can even help you with the logo if you don't have one. And so, yeah, we have these CSA bags and everything that we pack up. And when you have herbs that you can dry, you can sell fresh herbs. And say if they didn't sell, then you hang them and you dry them. Then you have dried herbs to sell. There's like so many different ways that you can do it. You can do herb blends. You can do herb salt. So you could just buy bulk salt. And then I'm gonna like mark this so I know where to keep going at. And so then if you're like, okay, well, I need to figure out, there's never waste. So you can continue to utilize everything. So if you have too many plants, you're harvesting those plants if they're herbs and whatnot. And, you know, then you can always gift too. Like, I love giving away garden stuff. Like, that's the best thing, is to like give the gift of food. And if you guys haven't registered for our sowing seeds program and you're starting a garden, or you know somebody who's starting a garden, have them check out our YouTube video on the sowing seeds program, and then they can go to our website. That way, if they watch the video, they'll get the feel for like if it's the type of seeds, because it is like a well-rounded garden. But you're not going to have like this abundance of seeds where you're going to feel like you can grow, you know, an elaborate farm or something. But it's definitely good for a family or for a backyard, stuff like that. So I planted that so quick. Those are going to be very thick too. I will probably regret this later. but it's done. I will. Love you. I'm going to call Letty and then I'll call you. So yeah, this is like a good thing, guys. Grow your perennials because you can take cuttings from them after your first year. You'll have some woody stock. You can take cuttings like we talked about. Hey Nance, what's up, girl? And so then you can sell your cuttings. And say if you want, then you can sell the dried herbs from them. If it's an herb, you can cut the flowers and sell the cut flowers. I mean, there's an endless way to make your money back on starting this. How are you? Your grandbabies are so stinking adorable. My friend Nancy, I follow all of her kids on social media. So I pretty much like watching them all grow up. They're so freaking cute. I love their little Barbie party the other day. It reminded me when I was a kid with my sisters. Oh my gosh, you guys. And the tray's done. Pearl came in to say hi. I want to say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Hi. See, I'm Massive Destructo and I'm here to destroy. Where were you digging this time, huh? She's like, this is the baby season for rabbits and ground squirrels and everything. So she has been going crazy trying to dig up everything. Hey, come on, you got to go out. Come on out. I know you're going to get dust on you. Come on. Come on. No, go. Go on out. Go. Go, go, go. Come on. Oh. She had like dust, dirty, muddy paws. I miss you too. I've got a little bit of a bug right now, but as soon as I kick it, we should get together. You should come over. You should help me plant bulbs. I'm just like fishing. Who wants to help me plant bulbs? I didn't realize how much work was in bulb planting. Okay, I'm not even lying. Yeah, and then I really do want to tear up all of my garden space and bring my tractor up and till it because I don't think I'm ready to do a no-till garden this year. So there's a lot of stuff that it just makes life easier. And as much as I want to do permaculture, which I am doing permaculture in some areas that I've already gotten ready to do those in, but the garden is like, yay, I got her. She's on the hook. So the garden space, I brought everything there to do the permaculture, but we haven't started lining it up for that yet, which means that I'm probably just going to bring my tractor in and do a till. And I'm totally cool with that. I'm very flexible in my plan because I look at it this way. Getting something done is better than getting nothing done. And if I spend all of my time waiting for a day that I feel good enough to do something that way, I'm really wasting a day that I could be planting or something else. I could jump on my tractor and spend 6 hours on it and have that garden space tilled up, and then I can just rake through it and get my rows set up. So you figure like 3 or 4 days of prep work, and I'm planting, you know, the full 30 rows plus this section over here that goes straight out from the greenhouse. This is going to be permaculture garden this year. So that we are going to layer all that and then claim that as permaculture garden. That's also going to be the perennial garden. We'll have the bulbs in there. We'll have different herbs. We'll have a lot of perennial flowers and things like that in there. We're going to do this. It's pretty much like a stack of pallets and wood. And it gives bees, like pollinator bees, it gives them a home. So you're building like carpenter wood bees, you know, they like piles of wood and stuff like that. And so by stacking up these like little piles of wood and pallets and things of that nature, you're giving these bees a place to come, and then you're going to have a heavily pollinated garden. And a heavily pollinated garden means that you're going to have an abundance of food, because the more pollinators that are in your garden, the more success you're going to have with each bloom that needs to be pollinated to produce a fruit. I'm going to refill this. And so I highly suggest that you guys put in, like, we have bee boxes, like not the ones like you would think of, but they're like carpenter bee boxes. So it's pretty much just like a container that has wood in it. But I've seen this idea. I've seen an idea for pallets, and I got tons of pallets. And so I'm going to paint them. And I think I'm going to do like a rainbow color on them just because I want them to be like really bright and cheery and fun. And so I'm going to paint the pallets, make them look real cute, do a roof line on them. I have all these branches that were cut down that a friend of mine wanted me to burn. But instead of burning them, I'm gonna stick those, like, you know, lay them all up in that part. Now, I'm either gonna regret this because I have like pretty bad allergic reactions. I'm either gonna regret inviting all these guys in, and it's gonna be like one of those things, like sometimes you just have too much bee activity and you just need to let the bees have the garden, and then you wait, so you're either out there in the morning or in the evening when the bees are done working. But you'll know, like they will give you your schedule if you have a very like pollinator friendly garden, and I don't mind it. But those big black bumblebees, although they're like really friendly, they scare the crap out of me. So the black ones, I don't know what it is, they're just so large and intimidating. And yeah, so but that's what we're going to be doing right away, putting the fence up, putting in the bee boxes, and getting that side of the garden ready for the row crops, and then this side ready for permaculture, and then the flower garden, which is the flower farm, which is about maybe 1.5 acres to 2 acres. Those rows will go in right afterwards. So I almost, like last night before I went through all my seeds, I thought maybe I'll just order plugs, because you can order plugs of plants and you can order them wholesale, but it's a very expensive thing. And if your first year flower farming, especially like that's me, this is my first year, I do not recommend starting from plug, because the investment that you're paying for an already grown plant, it does take away some of the risk of like pests, like rabbits, ground squirrels, things of that nature, eating your plants. But at the same time, you're putting more into that one plant, and depending on what it is, some things are only going to give you one stem, like that's it. You're going to have to wait, that you're going to get one stem, and if it's just an annual, that's it. You cut that plant, whatever you paid for that, you have to be able to make that back per stem when you're selling that cut flower. And then if you don't have anything from the previous year to reinvest into your garden, then now you have to think about, okay, what am I going to sacrifice? Because it is a sacrifice when you're taking a budget from your family, if you have no other income coming in from the farm. Now you're sacrificing something from your family to then put that into there, and more than likely you're not going to get the price per stem that you paid into it. And so it's kind of a wash. If anything, you'll never get your time back. Like, the time is the most valuable thing you'll have out of everything. And so to me, starting from seed and seeing what I can do myself here, it's worth it. It's a lot more work, but I have a better time doing it. I learn more. I can sell my stuff for cheaper, because then when I'm reselling something, I don't have to charge such a high market for it. And I'm really hoping that eventually you guys will see my flowers and stuff like that down in San Francisco at the pier. Like when they're having, I think it's like Monday and Wednesdays, they have like all these different people that come in and they bring all of the stuff to the market. Like, I hope to be supplying florists with flowers that we grow here. So a girl can dream, right? But I'm losing sunlight, guys. It's been a great day. I'm so glad I took a shower. My hair looks good. I got that curl cream going on. My flowers, well, they're not really flowers, but my greens are greening. So have a wonderful night. Nancy, I shall see you soon. I love you. Candace, it was so great chilling with you. Melissa, you too. Gabe, Christina, Letty, everybody who was on here, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to post this to my Instagram and to my YouTube, because I've been horrible about making videos. So bye.